Welcome to our Elementor Loop tutorial series where everything you need to know about the Elementor Loop is explained. This is the part 4 of our series, and if you've not seen the part 1, 2, and 3, not to worry, a link will be added in the description of this video for you to access it. In our previous tutorial, we talked about the product archive, and then we also talked about the product taxonomy loop, where at the end of the tutorial, we were able to create a product taxonomy loop, this here, and also the product archive. So we'll click on this to see the product archive we created in our previous tutorial. Yeah, this is it. This is what we created in our previous tutorial. So in this tutorial, this is what we're going to achieve, the single product design, custom design. So when you click on this product here, you're going to see what we're going to achieve at the end of this tutorial, which is this. We're going to create this from scratch, and I'm going to show you how to do it. Okay, so this is where you can see these are the product gallery images. Where you click and it comes up, and you can zoom over, and also right by the side here, this is where you see the product full description. When you click on this, it's going to show you the product full description. And also, if the product has a review, this is where it's going to display for you. And then for the additional information, if the product has additional information, this is where it is also going to display. And for the shipping policy, this is it. For now, it is static, but however, in our subsequent video, we might talk about how to make it dynamic. So right below here is where you can see the related product to this particular product here, where we made use of the loop grid we created in one of our previous tutorials. So we are trying to build our website, our e-commerce website from scratch using custom designs totally. So without further delay, let's dive in and get started. So on our WordPress dashboard, what we're going to do is just come over to the templates, and then we open the theme builder on another tab. Then allow for me to load. Now once it loads completely, we'll come over to the single product. We're going to create a single product. So mind you, whatever knowledge you gain from creating this single product can also be applied to creating the single post as well. So let's just click on this plus icon here, and let's open our editing canvas. Okay, we won't be using this, so we're just going to close this here. And what we're going to do here is just, first of all, we're going to add a structure. Okay, and then let's select this structure here, and now let's come over to the advanced settings, and for the padding, let's unlink this and give it a padding to the top 100, and then to the bottom 100 as well. Okay, so now what we're going to do here is we're just going to come here, click on this plus icon here. Now on this first container here, let's open this here. Let's call this first container. And then let's call this second container, and let's call this parent container. Okay, so on our first container, what we're going to do, we're just going to come over here to our widget area. You can see under here, under the product, you can see the various widgets that are available for us to make use of. Right after that, you can see the WooCommerce widget as well. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're just going to drag this WooCommerce breadcrumb and then drop it here. Mind you, you can also create this breadcrumb on your own, okay, from scratch on your own. All right, so for our link, we can change our link color into what we've been using. So we're gonna, and the color we've been using, then we're gonna change it to FFB001, that gold light color. Okay, and then for the text color, we can just set it to dark, to black. For the typography, we can increase the typography a little bit, let's say 18 pixel. Okay, so we'll have something like that. All right, so what we're going to do next is we just come over here, and we're going to drag the product image and drop it right below here. Okay, now for the product image, we're going to come here and let's add a border, a solid, and let's give it a border width of 2 pixels. And for the border color, we're going to set the color to FFB001. Okay, and then for the border radius, we're going to give it a radius of 20 pixels all around. Okay, so now we're going to come to the thumbnail. Under the thumbnail, we're going to come down here, set the border radius to solid, do the same, give it a border width of 2 pixels, and then border color, we could leave the border color and it will take its color from the color set on the large image, but in a situation where you want a separate color for that, which is what we're going to do, we're going to set it to black. And then for the border radius, we'll set it to 20 pixels all around. And then we're going to come here, give it a spacing of 15 pixels. Okay. And then for here, this product image here, we're going to come here and give it a spacing of 15 pixels as well. Okay, so now this is what we'll have here for our product image. Okay, so now we're going to come over to our second container. We're going to work with our second container. All right, so now for the second container, we're going to come here and then we're just going to, first of all, let's drag our product title and drop it here. Okay, then after that, we're going to come back here and let's drag a spacer. Let's drag a spacer and let's drop the spacer right above the product title. Okay, so we now have something that looks like this. Okay, good. Now we're going to come over to the container, the second container, and we're going to go to the advanced settings and let's unlink this, and to the left, let's give it a padding of 50 pixels. Okay, and for our heading here, for our product title, we're going to come over to the style option, change the color to black, and then we're going to change the typography to 35, the font size to 35 pixels. So we'll have something that looks like this. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is we're just going to come over here. Mind you, you can structure your single product design however you want, but for the purpose of this tutorial, I'm trying to stick to the pattern we already have to show you that with the team builder and the Elementor Loop, you can customize a product, WooCommerce website if you want. Okay, so now what we're going to do here, we'll come over to this Rubik's Cube icon here, and right below, we're going to add our product price. So we're just going to drag and drop this right below the product title. Okay, and then we're going to come over here and let's increase the product size a little bit, the product price a little bit. Okay, let's put it at 25 pixels. And then let's come over to the advanced settings. Under the margin, let's unlink this and give it a margin of the bottom -15. Okay, so we'll come back here and then we're going to drag the short description and drop it right below this. Okay, and this is our short description. Now we'll go back here and then we're going to drag the add to cart. Remember, when we were creating our product loop, we didn't make use of this add to cart. We made use of the custom add to cart, which was the add to cart we found somewhere here. This WooCommerce custom add to cart. But for this here, it is advisable you make use of this because it comes with a lot of features that suit this particular purpose. Okay, so now for this here, we're not going to do much here. We just go to the button. Now for the button, we're going to come over here and give it a border type. Set the border type to solid, and for the border width, we're going to set it to 2 pixels. Mind you, we're trying to replicate the same button style we used while creating our product loop. Okay, and then for the border radius, we're going to give it a border radius of 20 pixels all around. And then for the padding, we're going to unlink this. To the top, we're going to give it 15 pixels. Then to the right, 50 pixels. To the left, 15. And then, sorry, to the bottom, 15. And then to the left, another 50 pixels as well. Okay, and then we're going to come over here under this, the text color, we'll leave it at white, and for the background color, we're going to set the background color to FFB001. Okay, let's just copy this color out. Let's cut this color out and let's set the background color to black. And then let's come over to the border color and let's set the border color to our FFB001. So we now have something that looks like this. Okay, so we're going to come back here and then we go to the typography. Under the typography, now for the view cut option, you can also set the view cut here, but I believe we're just going to leave it at default. Now let's go back here and set the font width. Let's reduce the font width to 500. Okay, good. Now let's come back here under the hover. For the hover, we're going to leave the text color to default, and then for the background, we're going to set the background to FFB001. Okay, so we'll now have something like this when we hover, which is quite similar to what we already have for what we created for our product loop. Okay, so now that we've done that, the next thing we're going to do here is, mind you, like I said, we're going to create this product page unique. Okay, so to show you the power you have in creating your own custom product page. So we're just going to come over here. Now, there is an option here where you see the product data tabs. Now you can drag this data type and drop it here. Mostly by default, the data tab normally comes right at the bottom here, but we want to make ours unique. I won't be making use of this, but I just want to show you that this is what Elementor gives you, the product data tabs, okay? But we're going to create ours from scratch. So let's drag and drop this here. Let's drag this over here. And then now let's close this. Let's come over to our widget area and let's search for accordion. And now let's drag the accordion widget and drop it right below here. Now for the accordion widget, what we're going to do is we're just going to come here and then we're going to call this one here description. Sorry. Going to call this description, and then we're going to call this review, and then we're going to call this one here additional information. And I think we're going to have a final one where we can add our shipping policy. Okay, so now that we've created the various tabs we'll be using, so next thing we're going to do is we're going to come over here, and first of all, for the icon position, we're going to set the icon position to the end, and then for the item position, we're going to set it to stretch. So we'll now have our icons at the edge here. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do, we'll come over to the style option. Now for the style option under the accordion, we're going to give it a space between items, set the space between items to 8 pixels, and then for the normal, what we're going to do is we're going to leave the border type as it is default, and then we're going to come over to the border radius and we're going to give it a border radius of 20 pixels all around. And then for the padding, we're going to give it a padding of 15 pixels. Okay, so now that we've done that, we're going to come over here, come over to our content. Now for the content, we're going to still leave the border type. Let's remove the border type. Let's set the border type to none. And then for the border radius, let's give it a border radius of 20 pixels as well. Okay. All right. So now what we're going to do next is we're going to come over here and let's add content to our description. Now for the description, we're going to come over here, and then what we're going to do is come over to where we see the product content, and we're going to drag it and drop it right here. Okay. Then for this container here, we're going to go to the advanced settings and we're going to give it a padding of 50 pixels all around. Should it 20 pixels? Let's set it to 20 pixels. Yeah, it's better. 20 pixels is better. Okay, then let's go over to the style option and give it a background color. Now for the background color, we're going to set the background color to F0, F0, F0. Okay, so we now have something that looks like this. Okay, that is it about the description. Now we'll come over to the review. For the review, we just toggle this, and then we'll come here and where we see our product rating. We're going to drag it and drop it here. Okay, and then we're going to do the same for the container. Come over to the container and set it to padding. Give it a padding of 20 pixels all around. Mind you, you might be wondering, why don't I just come over here and then right click here and copy it? You can see it's not, we cannot copy it. Okay, but however, we can just replicate it here. It's quite simple to do. So we just come over here, and then for the color, give it a background color of F0, 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 which is simple. Now we cannot see anything here because we do not have any review, and we could see it on the live product. Okay, so let's just leave it. We're done here. Now let's come over to the additional information. And for the additional information, we're going to come here and we see where it's giving additional information. Now we're going to drag and drop this here. Okay, now we're going to toggle this to hide, and then we also going to come over here. We'll go to the advanced settings. Let's come over to our navigator so we'll be able to see this content area for the additional content. So now here we're going to come over to this item here, and then we'll go to the style option. For the background, we're going to set the background color to F0, F0, F0. Okay, and then we'll go to the padding and give it a padding of 20 pixels all around. 20 pixels all around. Okay, now for the shipping policy, we'll come over to the shipping policy and we go to our widget area and drag a text widget, text editor, and drop it here. Mind you, for the shipping policy, you can also make the shipping policy dynamic, whereby each product has its own shipping policy, and we'll be discussing that later on in our tutorial series. Okay, now for the container here, for now we're going to leave it as static. So whatever text we put here, that is what we'll have here. Okay, so for the container, we do the same. Change the background color to F0, 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 and then we'll go over to the advanced settings and give it a padding of 20 pixels all around. Okay, so we've successfully created this area here where we'll have our description, we have our review, we have our additional information, and then we'll have our shipping policy. Okay, so now that we've done this on this side looks well, the next thing we're going to create is our related product. Okay, so to do so, we're just going to come over here. Let's add a flex container. Let's add this structure here, and then let's drag this over here. Okay, now for this, what we're going to do next is we're just going to come over to our widget area and let's drag a divider. Okay, let's drag this and drop it here. All right, so for the divider, we'll go to the style. Before we go to the style, let's align it to the center and then add element. Let's add text. Now for this text, you can set this text to dynamic tag, or we can just use a static text, which is what we're going to use, related products. Okay, so now we'll go to the style option, and then for the weight, we can leave the weight the way it is, or we can just set the weight to 2. Let's increase it to 2 pixels. And then for the text, we're going to come over to the text and let's change the text typography. Let's increase it to 35. Let's set it to 30. Okay, 30 looks okay. And then let's come over to the spacing, and then let's give it a space, set the space to 20. All right, so then let's come over to the divider, and for the gap, let's add the gap. Let's give it a gap of 20 also. All right, this looks great. So now we're going to go back here. Now, Elementor gives you the ability to add, select this option here, the product related, and then you just drag it and drop it here. But mind you, we're trying to build a custom product page that is uniform to our already designed product loop. This is not uniform to that, so we won't be making use of this. So we're just going to delete this, and then what we're going to do is we're going to come over here and search for loop, and then we're going to drag and drop our loop grid right below this. Okay, and then we're going to choose a template type product, and then for the template, we're going to search for the product we've created. We're going to search for new products loop. Yeah, this is it. So we're going to select it, and you can see this is it. All right, so we'll come over here for the items per page. We're going to reduce it to 3. And then for the query, which is very important, we're going to come over to the query. Now, under the query source, it is set by default, it's set to latest product. That is not what we want. What we want here to display here should be related product. So to do that, we just come over here and toggle it, and you see here it is written related product. You're just going to select that, and then that is it. Just pulled all the related product, and then we'll come over to the additional option, and we're going to toggle this. Let's just add something simple here. Let's see, no related products found, and let's align this to the center. Okay, so in a situation whereby there is no related product for a particular product, this is the message your visitors would see. So we've successfully designed our single product, and it looks great and still in line with what we already have, the design we already have going for us. So we're just going to come over here. Lastly, we're going to publish this, and then we're going to set the display condition, and we're going to set it to product. Okay, we're going to click on save. You can also toggle this to see where you want, but let's just leave it at product because that is what we're creating it for. All right, so let's click on save and close. All right, so now we'll go over to our site. Remember, in our last video, that is the third part of our series, we created our product category, which is this. So what we're going to do now is let's just refresh it, and so you see that this is a live page. All right, so what we're going to do is we're just going to let's click on the hover product, and let's see. Now you can see this is the hover product. You have viewed the hover product, and then now let's click on one of the products to view that product in particular. Okay, so just click on this product here, and let's see our single product design that we've created. You can see this is the single product design we've created, and everything looks great. You can see. Now we can still come over here, and let's edit this tab here. As you can see, when we open this product, by default the description was open. We can come over here and let's go to our accordion, and let's come to the content, Let's come over here to the interaction, and we can come here for the default state. We can set it to all collapsed, and then we can just update this. And then we'll go over here. We'll open this by default. The description was opened, but if we should refresh this, you will notice that the description is also closed. So you can only access it when you click on it, and it will open up for you, which is also great. So as you can see, we've successfully created our custom product, single product, which looks great. We can go back to our category, and let's select another category. Take, for instance, let's select this watch category, and let's see the various watches we have. These are the various watches we have here. Now let's click on view, and you can see this is it. And this one doesn't have other thumbnail like product gallery. That is why you're not seeing anything here, but you can come over here and see the description text, the review, no review for it, additional information, no additional information is added, and our shipping policy also here. Okay, so we've come to the end of this part of our series. I hope you've learned something new. Please remember to give this video a thumbs up, and if you're new to our channel, please remember to hit the subscribe button and the bell icon so you get notified first when I drop a new video. And also there will be a link in the description of this video to the playlist of our series for the Elementor Loop tutorial, everything you need to know explained. Okay, so hope to see you in our next part of our series. For now, bye bye.